But we got why does fast food suck now? This is a relatable ass video title, and I want to get straight into it.
I'm going to show you a few different modern fast food locations with the logos removed, and I want to see if you can guess which restaurant it is. Here is number 1. That is Panda
I would have
Express.
not
Here
gotten
is
that.
number 2.
Wait. What's that? I think that's KFC. That's a KFC. I think it's either a KFC or a. Ooh, I don't know, bro. I mean, red is associated with KFC, right? I'm gonna go KFC.
That is Arby's.
What?
Here is number 3.
This gotta be a McDonald's.
That is Burger King.
All right,
Here is
bro.
number 4.
This gotta be a McDonald's.
That is Wendy's.
All right, bro.
Fast food restaurants in America have
Okay, I guess it's a good thing, bro. I guess I'm not a big back like that. I guess I'm not a fatty. I thought literally went 0 for 4, bro. Shit.
completely lost their identity,
Bro.
but it doesn't stop at these
What?
soulless gray buildings. Fast food used to be cheap, tasty, and most importantly, fast. And on top of that, the experience used to be fun.
That's so true, bro. I remember back in the day, McDonald's used to be like an actual castle, bro. They had the playhouses, they had the freaking little jungle set in the restaurant, they had the whole kiddish design. Now it just looks like a freaking cinder block. Seriously, there's no heart or soul in fast food no more. As a kid, shit, it was still bad for you because it's fast food, but like, bro, like it's lost the soul.
Today, the color is gone. The prices for a meal are almost the same as a regular
That's gotta be
restaurant,
clickbait.
and the service
That's gotta
is
be
slower
clickbait.
than ever.
Ain't no way Big Mac 17.59. That's gotta be clickbait.
But this did not happen by accident. In fact, it's all by design. And today I'm going to break down why fast food today is colorless, expensive, and slow. And while it might sound like all hope is lost, there is something you can do to change it. And if enough of us do that, we
Can I can't swear at him, Ed. Probably not.
I'm gonna swear, bro. Fuck you. Get the. I hate ads, bro. Jesus.
2 clicks.
just might be able to return to the glory days. Modern American fast food buildings are the perfect representation of the soul that's been sucked out of the industry. What used to be these creative architectural fun houses have transformed into sterile gray boxes that are severely lacking identity. Some of them kinda look like modern homes, some of them look like banks, some of them just look like corporate offices. But when you remove the logo, you genuinely could not tell what restaurant it was. Compare that to what this architectural illustrator posted on Reddit. Even without the logos, you can still tell which building belongs to each fast food brand.
True.
Or can you? I'll see if in the comments one of you gets all 12 correct. Belongs to
Actually, I said true. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I got no idea. I think the only one I can recognize is this is probably a McDonald's. Times have changed, bro. I think this is a Checkers. They got that in Florida. I don't know.
each fast food brand.
know.
Or can you? I'll see if in the comments one of you gets all 12 correct. Early Taco Bell locations were designed to evoke the look and feel of traditional Spanish and Mexican style architecture. The original buildings featured stucco
What
walls,
happened,
red
bro?
clay tile roofs,
That's
exposed
so
wooden
sad.
beams, and arched entryways. Now, you get a gray box with a modern purple LED light. Pizza Hut's red roof became such an iconic part of their design that
Facts.
now when a new business takes over the building and attempts to redesign, everyone knows it used to be a Pizza Hut.
Facts.
But today's Pizza Hut? Yep, another gray box. McDonald's used to have these big glowing arches you could see from a mile away. I was surprised to find out that there are still a few locations that maintain that 1960s vintage look. Take this Bloomington, Minnesota location for example. It still has the massive arches on each side, the red and white striped bricks around the edges, and red outline gives it this cartoonish but welcoming vibe. But sometime in 2023, they decided to get rid of all that charm and paint it gray. During McDonald's nationwide boom in the 1970s, they made a major rebrand to build locations faster.
Bro, I'll be honest. I low-key think McDonald's had the best and most iconic designs out of most fast food restaurants, yo. Because they've been around for the longest, and obviously they're just probably one of the most iconic, like, damn near companies ever. Everybody knows McDonald's. They're everywhere, all over the world, right? Even in, like, the poorest countries, you're going to find a damn McDonald's. But it's like, I'm just trying to understand. I hope he explains in the video, like, why the decline of, like, style went out. Because to me, it's like, I feel like as a business owner, you would want to make the design dope like this. Like, why would you change it from that and make it some freaking box where it just blends in with every other business out in the street? Because this was the experience, bro. The reason why that shit was called a Happy Meal back in the day, or I mean, it's still called a Happy Meal, but the reason why it was a Happy Meal is because I felt happy to go there. It was an experience. I went to play in the damn jungle room. I had my damn Happy Meal as a kid. They gave me a little action figure, a little car, and it was like a time. It was an experience, you know? McDonald's at the zoo looks beautiful. Yeah, like, yo, this shit looks great. It made me want to go there, but now I just feel no appeal. Like, kids today that are literally growing up before our eyes, even younger than me and Burbish over here, bro, they are never going to know. They are never going to know about the OG designs back in the day. They're going to go by it and just see some gray box and be like, shit, I don't really care for McDonald's.
The red mansard roofs with the yellow accents that were supposed to resemble French fries is what most people remember visiting throughout their childhood. There are still a few locations out there that haven't been modernized. This one in Dunedin, Florida looks absolutely beautiful with the palm trees and the bright blue sky. Or check out this stunning Durham, North Carolina location. This photo was taken in 2021, but it looks like we took a time machine back to 1993.
Facts.
Sadly, this one was also painted entirely gray in 2024. Even this location outside of Disney World looked like a theme park of its own, and I'm sad to admit that this creative masterpiece has been replaced by what looks like a corporate headquarters. Now, one of the main reasons behind the gray box trend is that it's a safer, smarter real estate investment. This strategy leans heavily on modular construction and prefab standardized architecture, when a previous brand needed a very specific build-out, which usually came to
White Castle, so good, yo. Oh my God, man. West Coast motherfuckers do not know, and I know I'm from the West Coast, but like, yo, me having my moments in the East Coast, I haven't seen any White Castles in Florida, but when I used to live in New York as a kid and Connecticut as a kid, White Castles was one of them ones, bro. I feel bad for the people in the West Coast that have never even heard of it or seen it.
down to their custom roofs, it just costs more. And in a way, they're also preparing for their imminent failure, because these vague buildings can be transformed into just about any other business.
Arby's is
in
trash.
New Jersey, this Wendy's was transformed into a Burger King. In Missouri, this old Burger King was turned into a Wendy's.
White Castle's a legendary burger joint in the East Coast, bro. If you ever find yourself, Burbish, if you ever find yourself in an area with a White Castle, and when I say White Castle, I don't mean when you go to the grocery store and buy the damn frozen burgers in the fridge. I'm talking about when you actually go to a White Castle sit-down restaurant. Them burgers are fire, bro. Now listen, it's not some crazy gourmet, like, you know, $50, $60 steak or nothing like that. It's nothing super bougie. But in terms of the standard that it's at and being comparable to the McDonald's and all them other Burger Kings and whatever, White Castle's one of them ones, dog. White Castle is one of them ones.
This former Taco Bell KFC combo was turned into a local pharmacy, and this former Arby's is now a local pizzeria. And to no surprise at all, the local pizzeria made a more charming and visually interesting design. Now, my favorite is when chains actually do the opposite of this, when they repurpose an old building, like this old bank in Wilmington, North Carolina that was transformed into a Dunkin' Donuts.
Fire.
It's undeniably smarter and probably more sustainable to build buildings that can outlive the brand inside them, which will in turn reduce waste and provide opportunity to future businesses. But there's just something sad about it too. Each restaurant lost all its character. But it's not just the exterior that lost its character. The interior is where many of these places thrived. Stepping inside used to feel like entering a little world of its own. Taco Bell had these purple and teal Art Deco chairs, textured wall tiles, and neon squiggles that felt like walking through a 90s arcade. People today would probably call this tacky, and they might not be wrong, but damn, it has an identity. But before we dive deeper, the other day I wasted hours trying to cancel all those subscriptions I forgot about. Luckily, today's sponsor
we're not doing that,
canceled
brother. We're
me
not doing that, brother. I already got enough goddamn ads
save
on
up to
YouTube as is, brother. We're not doing that, brother. We're not doing that, brother. We're not doing that.
Stained glass lamps hanging above every table, plush burgundy booths, and soft yellow lighting that made it feel more like a cozy living room than a fast food joint. And these sunrooms? Dude, these sunrooms absolutely ripped. Pizza Hut felt like a legit sit-down restaurant with thick...
That was a Pizza Hut, that? God, I can't even talk. Ooh, dog, what? Bro, even that's like before my time. I've never seen a Pizza Hut. That looks like an actual Italian sit-down restaurant. I can't believe it's a Pizza Hut, dog.
Carpeting, red vinyl booths, and those iconic Tiffany-style lamps that turned every meal into a dimly lit occasion. McDonald's had burger seats. Look at these burger seats. Are they a little terrifying? Sure, but I think we can all agree that we want them back. And when management started encouraging a more kid-friendly atmosphere, almost every franchisee built massive playgrounds and indoor sets packed with massive tubes, nets, and ball pits to play in while the adults got to enjoy their meal. However, for years, McDonald's had been dealing with injury lawsuits where kids hurt themselves climbing around rope ladders and monkey bars. In a 5-year span alone from 1986 to 1991, 1,500 injury claims were filed against McDonald's when kids fell off their equipment or got trapped in one of their structures. Hundreds, if not thousands of injuries went unreported, and not to mention the sanitation concerns. Even as a kid, I knew those things were filthy. Some places have still tried to hang on to that old school charm well into the 2020s. I found this 1950s retro diner-inspired McDonald's location in Williamsburg, Virginia. They have a whole-ass 1957 Chevy on the inside just parked in the middle of the restaurant. This beautiful time capsule location was, you guessed it, grayed out and turned into another modernized hospital cafeteria a few years ago. A location in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn was redesigned to a 1980s theme for a Marvel movie, and to no surprise at all, everyone loves it. And even though it still doesn't look like a true time capsule, it's just enough retro and modern combined to give the place a lot more soul. And if you're watching this and you have a fast food location near you,
I've been using BetterHelp since 2020.
That's great, bro.
I needed to find a therapist.
That's real great, bro.
But couldn't leave my
house. Well, I'm not your therapist, girl.
That still has some old school charm, drop it in the comments because I want to see. But the blueprint for the modern fast food gray box, the minimalism, the neutral tone textured wallpaper, the IKEA chairs that hurt to sit in, the inoffensive abstract art, the dim industrial lighting, it can all be blamed on Chipotle. Chipotle's early 2000s expansion marked a turning point in the fast food industry. Their concept was called fast casual. You still got your food quickly, but the experience felt more elevated. The menu was simple, the ingredients were marketed as fresher, and the interiors ditched the kid-friendly chaos in favor of something more modern.
Look, Chipotle is busting, I'm not gonna lie. They be pissing me off when them damn freaking right here, you can see the freaking line right here, the line employees. Mind you, I worked at Chipotle in high school. I know how it is. I worked there for like 2 years, gang. I worked there for 2 years, bro. I know how the freaking ins and outs of it is, okay? I cannot stand these Chipotle line workers, bro. Because what business do you have telling the cashier that I have double steak when this economy already makes it almost impossible to afford a regular steak and get it and enjoy it, okay? Because listen to it like this. These line workers, when they are giving you your food and they are serving you the damn steak and chicken, for some reason, it's just mentally instilled to these people. Burbish, I'm going to head to bed. Much love, gang. You have a blessed night. I hope I see you next time, brother. Appreciate you for tuning in. Love you. But these damn line workers, y'all, they have the audacity. I don't know what it is. They have some damn computation. I don't even know if that's a word. They have some computation in their freaking brains, right? Where they just pick up and scoop the damn chicken and steak, and it's like 4 or 5 cubes. It's like in their minds, they don't want to give you a proper portion. They want to treat you like shit. I like being treated like family when I walk in there. Even though Olive Garden don't got the best food, they treat me like fucking family, okay? So when I'm going into Chipotle trying to get my damn burrito and get my gains in after a freaking lift and a pump, right? Because I do love Chipotle. I have a love-hate relationship with the food. The fact that they don't scoop enough fucking meat in my damn food, maybe it's a pause, I don't care. I'm passionate. It makes me mad. And then when I look at them, I'm like, can you help a brother out? Can you just add a couple more scoops of fucking chicken? For God's sake, bro. Like, you over here charging me $20 for damn, come on, bro. Just help a brother out. And they look at me and they have the same soulless, blank, bullshit expression. If I add more, it's going to cost you double. So do you want to do single or double portion? They talk like that one bitch, the freaking Mike Wazowski, in that freaking Monsters Inc. movie. It pisses me off, bro. And then I'm like, I'm over here contemplating in my head. So you telling me that you're going to basically give me half chicken. And then when I ask for the proper portion, you're going to charge me double when really the portion that you're giving me is going to equate to one regular portion. So you're going to make me pay double trouble for one portion. And mind you, when you get them double burritos, that's going to run you about $18 to $19 depending on what you're doing. Okay? Why the frickety frack fuck do I have to pay that much money for a goddamn burrito when y'all not even giving me the fucking proper portions? I apologize for cursing. But at the same time, though, man, I'm just when I'm trying to eat my food, bro, I'm trying to enjoy it, man. I love going to Chipotle after a stressful day because when I put that goddamn, I almost said the craziest pause. Holy shit! When I eat the goddamn burrito, it just I love to eat. I'm a big back, I admit it, okay. And when they overcharge me when I'm trying to enjoy my big backness, it bothers me, bro. So look. I know I went on the most huge tangent right now when it comes to this Chipotle bullshit, but one day I'm gonna get a sponsorship with Chipotle when I'm a popping creator, and I'm gonna give the CEO hell, but I'm gonna make sure that regardless, I'm gonna get free burritos for life.
Because of this, they were able to charge a higher price, and teenagers, college kids, and young professionals were more than willing to pay. But they weren't just paying for vibes. Those 2010s Chipotle burritos were massive.
Yeah.
You used to get at least 2 servings of food for one price,
remember.
which made it comparable to 2 fast food trips. Chipotle's success came at a time when McDonald's and other giants were on a rapid decline. In 2003, McDonald's stock price fell to a 9-year low, and in Q4 of 2023 was the first net loss in profits they ever had, losing $344 million. Public pressure around junk food intensified during this period. The Super Size Me documentary further tarnished the company's brand. The doc followed Morgan Spurlock, who ate at McDonald's restaurants 3 times a day, every day for a month, consuming every item on the chain's menu at least once. At the end of the experiment, the 32-year-old had gained 24.5 pounds, a 13% body mass increase, increased his cholesterol to dangerous levels, and became the proof the media needed to paint fast food as the face of America's obesity crisis. So while McDonald's scrambled to repair its image, Chipotle was thriving, offering a cleaner, simpler, healthier experience that looked and felt like the opposite of everything fast food had become. In response, McDonald's started the Forever Young campaign to transform the playground feel into a cafe-style space. What resulted was a push for a more contemporary aura, accented by terracotta, olive, and gray colors paired with wooden furniture. Of course, other fast food restaurants saw this change and followed suit. I also believe that the success of Starbucks and maybe even the Apple Store had a big impact on the aesthetics of fast food chains. Starbucks proved that people would pay a premium price to hang around in a space that felt upscale, and Apple taught the entire retail world that an ultra-minimalist design could signal trust and quality. Today, seemingly every fast food chain takes a little bit of inspiration from Chipotle, Starbucks, and the Apple Store, which has majorly contributed to them losing what made them special in the first place. Fast food restaurants were meant to be bold, fun, and kid-friendly, or even calm and cozy sit-downs for the family. But designers Lynn Rosenbaum and Michael Muchoff told the YouTube channel Cheddar that the design choices are nothing more than a marketing.
That guy's last name is Munchoff? I'm sorry.
And Michael Muchoff told the YouTube channel Cheddar that the design choices are nothing more than a marketing tactic.
Michael Munchoff? I'm immature as fuck. I'm sorry.
We have to be perceived as new and fresh and
Munchoff?
food that is new and fresh. What has changed
it shouldn't be that
within our restaurant? We want to communicate that to the customer on the outside, and the easiest way to do that is through architecture and interior design.
How can we make it look healthier, but not actually make it healthier? That's basically the gist. I don't think any logical person is expecting fast food to be healthy, but the risk used to be worth the reward. Because beyond the building design and modern branding, it seems like they aren't even trying to make the food look or taste good anymore. The burgers aren't even close to as advertised, with buns flat as a pancake and lettuce that looks like it was left out all night. Places like KFC refuse to change the oil in their fryers, so you can't even taste the chicken anymore, and those so-called crispy fries you ordered look like they were defrosted, placed under a heat lamp, and served without anyone noticing they missed a crucial step. Even legendary YouTuber The Report of the Week, who has spent the past decade reviewing fast food menu items, just about had a meltdown over the decline in quality and service across every big chain in the US after countless bad experiences in 2023.
Instances not as bad as this, but where there have been problems with my order, with the quality. It's just elapsing more and more. And it's not just Culver's. It's every place. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell, you name it. There have been so many places, and I'm sure you've noticed this, that I've reviewed in the last couple years, where the food has just been awful. It's quite frankly disgusting. I hate when this happens. And what bothers me even more is when it's becoming more and more of the norm. When I'm trying out these sorts of items, and time and again, it's some burnt piece of garbage. It's some just vile slop for lack of a better word. And it's getting to the point now where pretty much every other item that I review is just, it's disgusting in some way or another. Or it's just so overpriced that it might be alright, but it's like you're burning your money. What's even
Starting a fashion brand shouldn't feel impossible. Other print-on-demand platforms claim to support creators.
the point?
But even if fast food companies lost the fun, lost the undeniable guilty pleasure taste, at least it's still cheap, right? Nope. Chick-fil-A, Arby's, Wendy's, Jimmy John's, Chipotle, Taco Bell, Popeyes, and McDonald's all raised their prices by 55 to 100% between 2014 and 2024.
Okay. That's pretty egregious. And look, like I told y'all, bro, Chipotle's at 75%. Okay? Mind you, McDonald's is still cheap. Even though it's at 100%, it's still fucking cheap. I can still get me a McDouble for like $2, $3, okay? So McDonald's, there's a little bit of grace there, even though the quality is pretty shit. But Chipotle, bro, they were already a slightly above average price when it came to the fast food market because obviously it's probably is still the healthiest fast food. I don't even know if you could really consider fast food because it's not, I mean, there are drive-thrus. It is technically a fast food, but I would argue that out of all these, Chipotle and probably Jimmy John's are probably the healthiest. But everything else is just fucking garbage. Chick-fil-A is obviously garbage too, but I will be real though, their quality is good and the prices aren't egregious. So I can't be too mad at them. Burger King's always been buns. Arby's has always been shit. Wendy's is it's not shit, but it's mediocre. Taco Bell's buns of the buns. Buns McGee, horrible fucking trash Buns McGee shit. And Popeyes is actually, it's aight. I know that sounds stereotypical from a fucking brother, but it's aight. It's not great. It's still mediocre, but it's aight. And McDonald's, they aight too.
Most of us can remember a time where $5 could fill you up at most restaurants. Maybe you'd snag a couple of grillers or a fill-up box from Taco Bell, a McDouble, McChicken and fries, a famous bowl from KFC, and even if you wanted to
Never
get
had
full
KFC in my
meals,
life, by the
you'd
way,
still
y'all.
spend
Fun
less
fact.
than $10. What I found shocking is that Columbus, Ohio has the most affordable fast food in the country, but meals still cost $10 on average. Most cities average $12 to $13 for a fast food meal, and I can say with certainty, at least where I live, that there are plenty of local restaurants serving way better food for $13.
Facts.
Some McDonald's locations were charging as high as $18 for a Big Mac meal.
There's
In
no
2024,
way,
the McDonald's president Joe Erlinger attempted to address many of the concerns that Americans had with McDonald's prices significantly rising. What's funny is that they made this graphic that claims to debunk a bunch of myths, while claiming that the facts state that they have only raised their prices by 20 to 40% since 2019. Like they put this obnoxious claim as a myth. McDonald's medium fries increased by 138%, just to attempt to soften the blow when they say that the fact is that the average price of a medium fries was a 44% increase. Like we're supposed to be like, oh, only a 44% increase for fries that are soggy, cold, and take 20 minutes to get? Ah, that's so much better than 138%. The reality is that fast food has entirely changed its value proposition to customers in America. It's no longer about being cheap, it's about being lazy. A professor of marketing at Johns Hopkins said, "These chains are not charity organizations. They're not trying to serve cheap food to people who are complaining about high prices. They're trying to get people who have either stopped going to the store or never went there." I suspect the value pricing approach is working for McDonald's. Okay. So, they killed the vibes, ruined the taste, charged way too much money. Is it at least still fast? Well, kinda. The speed of service has drastically decreased as Americans become more dependent on the drive-thru. America runs on urgency. Our cities are built to drive around, not stop and hang out in.
That McDonald's drive-thru be backed the fuck up, bro. I don't even go in there like that, but you be seeing it, man. And at the end of the day, a lot of it just comes down to the workers, bro. If they just really invest in the workers, like it would be better, you know? But it's like when you think of a McDonald's, when you think of a Popeyes, when you think of a Burger King, when you think of all of these fast food jobs, it's like the bottom of the totem pole, the bottom denominator job that damn near anybody can get hired at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that, and that's probably the reason why, because most people just don't give a shit. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I kind of get it, because if I worked at McDonald's, I wouldn't give a shit either. Like, I'm just being real, bro. Like, I would look at it, and once again, I'm talking about from my perspective, right? Everyone's entitled to their own perspective and their own life and their own or perception of happiness. For me though, thank God it never happened. But if I worked at a McDonald's, and honestly, well, actually, I'm not even gonna say thank God because I've worked at places similar to that. I've worked at Johnny Rockets. I was a pizza delivery boy. I've worked everywhere. So honestly, I'm not even gonna say that because I literally have had those jobs. I know what it's like. But and actually, wait, yeah. So I literally exactly know what it's like. Yeah, I've had the same experience, bro. When I'm there, I mean, look, I'm still a hard worker. I still do my job because I understand that in the service industry, you are literally taking care of people's food and people are paying money to eat it. So I understand that to a degree. But there's also just such a level of like desperation and just hatred of where you're at. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's all perspective at the end of the day. For me, I understood that I had to do what I had to do, but that's why I motivated myself to get out of there because I couldn't stand it because I was just unbelievably depressed when I was there. Or not depressed, but you know what I'm saying, like sad. And there's people who are there that don't have that motivation to get out of there, and they just stay in this sad, depressed cycle for decades. And I'm like, damn, I could see why you lack the motivation and the spirit and the drive to even give me a damn good quality burger. I don't expect it from you, you know? Mind you, once again, I'm not taking away accountability. I understand, bro, that the workers are required to do their job of what they're getting paid to do. I'm not saying it's okay. I don't want any of y'all clippers to make it seem like I'm freaking justifying bad burgers. Okay, I'm not. But I'm just saying that I can understand why it's like that, bro. And what they need to do is, if they are raising the prices so goddamn much, they should also raise the income of the motherfrickers that work there. Because one thing I'm going to give Panda Express and also to this day, Panda Express is still, in my opinion, one of the best fast foods, in my opinion. I think Panda Express is fire, and the prices low-key have not gotten too crazy, right? They've always been relatively inflation-proof. I ain't gonna lie. And also, like I was saying earlier about Chipotle, unlike Chipotle, they actually portion your shit the right way. When I get my orange chicken, they load me the fuck up. I get full. Oh my God, that's a pause. But you know what I'm saying, though? I get full off that shit, bro. They load me the frick up. Right? And at Panda Express, from the get-go, I remember even back when I was in high school, when Chipotle was paying $12 an hour or $13, $14 an hour, whatever it was. I remember right out the gate, Panda Express was paying $17 an hour. I just didn't work there because at the time I didn't have a car, and also all the Panda Expresses were kind of far from me. I'm like, I'm not going to work at Panda Express when I got Chipotle down the street. So I'm like, you know, that was the reason for me. But bro, out the gate back then, they was paying $17. And I think now, with all the inflation and rise in prices, I think they paying like $19 an hour to their workers or something like that. So Panda Express, they always been on game, bro. They always been on point. They always been playing the game the right way, and I rock with Panda because of that. I'm not gonna lie.
Our work weeks are packed, our commutes are long, and our breaks are short. Everything in our culture tells us to move faster, work more, and consume more. So we designed an entire meal experience around not having to stop moving. Pull up in your car, order before you speak to a person, get your food in a brown bag, and don't even look inside until you're already merging onto the highway. And stuff the fries down your throat with one hand while the other is on the wheel. Drive-thrus aren't about convenience. They're a survival mechanism for a society that doesn't have time to sit down. But now even that convenience is starting to collapse. What used to be a 3 to 5 minute pit stop has turned into a 15+ minute wait behind a line of frustrated drivers. Even places
my dog, Smelly Ren, man. You are OG, bro. And I love that you pop in just to say what's up real quick, man. I don't even care if you leave right away, bro. That means the world to me, dog. And you missed out, man. I wish you was in earlier. Obviously, we in the later part of the stream now. But I was like literally just yapping and talking to like 4 new people that popped in my chat for like an hour straight, bro. It was vibes. All kinds of people, too, of all different ages. It was dope. But Smelly Ren, bro, I appreciate you, gang. You are OG, man, and I'll never forget you. Thank you.
like In-N-Out are facing major problems with lines that literally cause traffic on the highways next to them. Pretty much every Chick-fil-A I've ever been to around lunchtime has 2 rows of 20+ cars bumper to bumper. Many locations are trying to combat these frustrating wait times by having staff walk around with iPads so you can get that somewhat satisfaction that your order is being taken care of, but it doesn't make the food come out any faster. Now you might think that removing drive-thrus in some locations or incentivizing walk-ins would somehow speed things up, but fast food restaurants have done their homework. Research shows that 47% of US consumers would simply avoid going to a store that doesn't have a drive-thru, and twice as many people prefer using the drive-thru to going in store.
Bunch of lazy ass motherfuckers. Let me tell you this, bro. Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out, they handle their drive-thru the best. Even when they have their lines going out the damn street, they still somehow make it go fast. I don't know how they do it, but they are unbelievably efficient. Also, In-N-Out is one of the best fast foods when it comes to quality, when it comes to time, and when it comes to inflation-proof prices, bro. In-N-Out needs their respect, but I'm not going to lie, though. They're starting to sprout out of California, and I feel like low-key they're going to start getting too big for their britches, and they're going to start losing their sight of their fans, and they're going to start getting too big for the program. I am a little bit worried that as they expand, they're going to raise their prices, because when they used to only be native to California, In-N-Out was loyal and down to earth and was for us, and they still are. All I'm saying is I'm a little bit worried.
That's because of the American go culture, as well as us not prioritizing eating as a meaningful experience. It's just another task to check off the list. Meals in other countries are a cultural staple, a time to slow down, talk, share, and connect. Americans treat eating as something you do out of necessity between meetings, in traffic, or while staring at your phone. And I'm talking to you, who's literally eating a meal.
Hi, I'm John Dinsmore. I'm the instructor for the UCF Split Stack
Thanks,
Software
John.
Development.
While watching this right now. The obsession with quick service, combined with fast food's obsession with margins, is right now staring at your phone. And I'm talking to you, who's literally eating a meal while watching this right now. The obsession.
Find it interesting, brother. You think you got me. You think I got you, huh? You think you got the I got you moment? Well, hey, player, letting you know right now, I'm not eating. It's 1:34 in the morning, and I already ate, brother. But I appreciate the effort.
With quick service, combined with fast food's obsession with margins, is slowly turning these restaurants into massive robotic garages, like this concept released by Taco Bell in 2022 for their new vision for making service easier than ever before, or the new designs Chick-fil-A is rolling out that prioritize quick service, or Jimmy John's cutting down the size of their restaurant to resemble more of a studio apartment. To make it even more streamlined, restaurants are releasing AI menu stands that replace human staff members.
Oh my God,
and the responses have been mixed, with some customers praising the decision and others arguing this is one step further in the wrong direction.
No, bro,
so
fuck
correct
the robots.
orders and no more attitudes for no reason? More jobs with human contact are going away. With fast food restaurants doing everything they can to make service seamless and Americans demanding even more convenience, how far away are we from a robotic arm extending from a building and just dumping the food right into our mouths?
Bro, I would literally spit on that hand, bro. I'm not getting my food served by a robot, bro. Are you kidding me? This is what I'm telling y'all. I have been saying this, and I'm not gonna go on some super long tangent because I can make a whole video on this shit. I have been saying this for years, bro, that there is going to be a civil war in America because the working class is going to start to lose a bunch of jobs due to all these big corporations laying motherfuckers off so they could hire some AIs to do the typical base work, bro. And it's going to get to the point where you got a bunch of McDonald's, you got a bunch of these low-end jobs that a lot of people need to survive, and they going to get replaced with AI. And there's going to be a damn rising up. There's going to be a civil war of a bunch of poor, middle to lower class Americans that are saying we ain't doing this shit no more. And it's going to be the AI revolutionary war. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Deadass would rather have a person mess up my order than AI getting it wrong. Yeah, bro, because if an AI messes my shit up, you know how mad I'm going to be, bro? And I'm not going to have anyone to get mad at. I'm going to be mad, and then the AI is going to be like, oh, I'm sorry. Would you like a refund? And I'm like, no, bro, I want my order. I don't want a refund, bro. I want my food. Like, you know? And it's gonna make me so mad, bro. At least with a human being, there's going to be interaction. We can understand each other. And even if you're a damn bozo, bot-like creature, at least I know you're a human being. And if not, bro, I'm going to talk to your manager. I'm not dealing with no AI servant.
As grim as the future looks, there is a way to fight this. There is a way to demand change, get better quality food, better prices, better speeds, and an all-around better experience.
Make your food at home.
The solution is quite simple.
Make it at home.
And it's being implemented all over the world. Fast food is better outside of America, not just by opinion, but by design. Many nations have stricter regulations on food quality, preservatives, and sourcing. In places like Japan, France, or Germany, the ingredients are often fresher, the portions are more balanced, and the presentation is far more respectful of the dining experience. But this change didn't necessarily happen out of respect, it was by force. Like in France, when 5 activist farmers tore down a McDonald's that was being built in the southern town of Malau in August 1999. They handed out Roquefort cheese at the protest, which they said was to denounce US import restrictions and hormone-treated beef. But this was a calculated attack. In that same week, French farmers dumped 6 tons of manure on a McDonald's restaurant in Arles. This was a symbol of resistance against American food imperialism and the spread of unhealthy, standardized meals.
Farmers.
And it wasn't just about the food, they were defending culture, agriculture, and tradition. And it worked. French consumers began demanding locally sourced ingredients, and McDonald's responded. Today, around 75% of the food served in McDonald's France is sourced domestically. Now, this doesn't mean go and destroy your local McDonald's, but it is proof that a protest goes a long way.
Facts.
Also, McDonald's Europe became the first food service retailer in many markets to sell Marine Stewardship Council certified sustainable fish. The MSC is widely considered the gold standard certification for sustainable wild-caught seafood. Because if they did not meet these standards, then European countries would simply not allow them to serve fish. In India, they mostly don't serve beef or pork items due to religious values held by the citizens. In China, they serve taro pies. Taro is a plant native to Southeast Asia whose roots and leaves are used for food in this region.
We gotta
in Saudi
go to China,
Arabia,
chat.
100% of their menu must be halal. Therefore, all products served at McDonald's restaurants are inspected and approved by local authorities and Islamic inspectors at the countries of export. The point is, McDonald's and other fast food restaurants will abide by socio-cultural, religious, food preferences, and environmental factors, or they will simply not be allowed to serve food in that country. And they might even complement the country with a vibey atmosphere. They'll serve food in decommissioned planes in New Zealand, a colorful building pagoda in China, or a ski up in Sweden. The end result, better service, better food, better vibes, and customers who treat eating as something worth sitting down for. All of these point to the fact that fast food restaurants can still be colorful, fun, cheap, and have the best quality food available for their meals. It's just that they only change when people finally start to walk away. This is not the answer you want, but it is the truth. Sure, the buildings are gray and bland. Sure, the service is slow. Sure, the food doesn't taste as good and corporate greed is driving up the price. But you can protest. You can just stop going. And they will be forced to resort back to the things that made these restaurants special in the first place. But until most of us refuse to order from these fast food restaurants, then nothing is going to change.
McDonald's in particular, bro, I've had it a couple times recently, and it did hit pretty good. I can't lie, bro. Because literally, their McValue is pretty fire. But with that being said, though, in general, I will admit fast food has definitely lost its soul, has definitely lost its creativity, and has definitely gone downhill a lot since how it was back in the day when we was coming up as kids, man. It is very sad. I will never forget the memories I had at McDonald's back in the day when I was so excited to get that kids meal, play in the damn little mini park, get my toy car, my action figure with my little cup of milk. It was a good time, man. It ain't saying no more. But at the same time, though, I don't really give a damn because there is so much better food to eat and enjoy. And also, it's nice to have some homemade shit, bro. I miss my mama's cooking. I'm not going to lie, man. But with that being said, though, chat, y'all gotta let me know in the goddamn comments for the YouTubes what your favorite restaurant is. What do you think is the GOAT fast food, the GOAT industry, in the GOAT industry? Jesus, it's 1 a.m. Bear with me. I was 1:42 in the morning. I am freaking tired. I'm not gonna cut this out because I'm a real authentic brother. But let me know in the comments what y'all think. What's y'all favorite restaurant? What's y'all favorite meal? I don't know, bro. Just talk to me and let me know how your day is. I love y'all, though. I'ma see you in